Load the roll of blank material onto the unwind mandrel and tighten the mandrel. With the DC350, use the air gun to expand the mandrel. Thread the material through the unwind side of the press. Refer to the unwinder module paper path diagram. Continue threading the material through the rewind side of the system. Refer to the rewinder module paper path diagram. Install an empty core to one of the rewind mandrels. Tape the material to the core and turn on the sensor. With the DC350, use the air gun to expand the mandrel. Engage the 3 pinch rollers. Before installing the die, we need to measure for the repeat value. If you know this value, you can proceed with die installation. Using a non-metal ruler, measure the distance from the bottom of the last cavity to the bottom of one of the alignment slots. This is the die plate length value that will be entered into the software. It is important not to damage the edge of any of the cavities. With both pressure dials set to 0, rotate the cylinder and locate the guide pins. Line up the slots in the flexible die with the guide pins on the magnetic cylinder. Confirm the guide pins are centered, top to bottom, in the die slots. Rotate the magnetic cylinder to attach the die. Replace the protective cover. Turn the handles clockwise to set die pressure. Turn the handles together to apply even pressure. The default pressure value is 15 bar. In the user interface, select Unprinted Roll. Enter the required gap between labels. The plus/minus buttons can be used, or the value can be entered using the number pad. Enter the die plate length, or repeat for the die. The question mark will display how to determine that measurement. With the values entered, press Start to begin cutting the labels. When the cut labels have reached the rewind mandrel, press Pause. Install an empty core on the waste take-up mandrel and tighten the mandrel. Cut the material to allow for the matrix to be removed. Press Resume on the touch panel to begin cutting. Pull the matrix and attach it to the core. Turn on the mandrel sensor. Lower the compact arm. Press Pause when the material with matrix removed reaches the rewind mandrel. To trim the edges of the liner, lower the blade holder one position and move the blades to the correct location. Once in the correct location, lower the blade assembly completely. Press Resume to continue cutting labels. Once the trimmed edges reach the rewind mandrel, press Pause. Break away the trimmed edges. Place the edges over the bar. Resume cutting and feed the matrix onto the waste takeout. For multiple across labels, lower the slitter blades one position and adjust the position of the blades. Once in position, lower the blade assembly completely. Resume the job, and when the slitted material reaches the rewind roll, pause the job. Turn off the rewind sensor and cut the material. Remove the core. Install cores cut to the correct size. Again, note that the DC350 will use the air gun to expand the mandrels. Secure the slitted material to the core. Turn on the rewind sensor. When installing the core to the lower rewinder, adjust the sensor position so it is pointed at the core. Turn on that sensor. Resume the job to continue producing blank labels.